Who decides the curriculum? Do you know, now you're talking about knowing your past. Do you know that the curriculum which is taught in schools all over the world was decided by a committee of 10 ancient guys from Harvard in 1892? That's the past. You're talking about the past. That's the past. That is, these ludicrous guys got together and said that from now onwards, people will learn these subjects, these languages, and this. After some time, it became into a neat little hierarchy. Those who study science and maths will be at the top. Those who can't, who don't have the brains, will go a little bit lower down. And finally, those who can't do anything but can only dance and sing, they will be at the bottom because they are really useless and they are only meant for purposes of entertainment. They are only meant for purposes of entertainment. But tell me, is this the current valuation of the system or not? Is this the current valuation of the system or not? Now, who decided your past? Now, you can ask this question. Why are we in Pakistan or in India for that matter following a curriculum that was decided by some guys more than 200 years ago in some other institution for some other purpose? But nobody examines. Nobody examines why this was created. Why, for example, we didn't have dance? What's wrong with dance? In India, for example, in Madras, we have an entire school only dedicated to dance called the Kalakshetra. And now there are many institutions where children from the youngest age can enter the school and learn dancing for the rest of their life. It's finally a restoration of the old Gurukula system. It's coming back in a big way because they finally realized that Indian civilization without Indian dance is nothing. So they began to try and do something about it. But basically, they are now finally open to the concept that you may be a very good MA, you may be an MBA, but you will also may be a very good dancer. And the society has to protect all. And your curriculum, that's where your curriculum comes. It has to be an informed curriculum of what will be protected of the religion, what will be protected of the culture, and what else the child may or may not require. Because the decisions about what the child may or may not require, I don't think are acceptable at all, even by normal pedagogical practice. I can tell you that you can teach the entire 10-year math of school to a child at the age of 15 in 1 year. Agree? And anybody who wants to learn the entire geography of the world is given a globe and he can do the geography within no time at all. You know, there's a very nice school in Pune which teaches people, their children, one of the things that the children learn the curriculum is letter writing. Now, you would say that in normal letter writing, what we do, the normal way we were taught to write letters, dear so and so, and then how are you, and then put in something, and then thank you, and sincerely and all. Now this school did something very interesting. It was one of the interesting schools. Once you should come there and make arrangements for you to come and visit. What they did was they said that they took the letter and they took everything related to that letter. And one of the important things about a letter was the stamp. So they said, okay, now what is the stamp? Where does it come from? So they went to the post office. The whole school went to the post office. And then they said, now, this is very well planned by the teachers in advance. That this old school, this postmaster, whom nobody has ever talked to in his life, suddenly becomes a teacher. Because the whole group of 40 youngsters who have come to him, and they're asking him all about the post office. They ask him about the post office, what are these stamps, where do these stamps come from? And each stamp, of course, may come from some different part of the world. So then how do you identify which, where are these places all over the world? And the whole business of letter writing then blossoms into an entire exercise in beautiful geography. And the headmaster, who never was a teacher, now finds that he's a teacher. And he's delighted to be able to explain to people, look, these are the letters that have come this morning. Now you will help me to sort them out. So they don't know, they are youngsters. They don't know where these places are letters are come from. They don't know where that vintage boxes are being put into. So they learn that geography of India. Because once the letter comes from outside, then it has to be put into some state in India and some capital somewhere. Then they begin to discover that India has got 35 different boxes. And then all these 35 boxes, they come to know the names. And some boxes are in the north, some are in the south, some are in the east, some are in the west, some are in the middle. And then they begin, you can't get a better geography lesson than this. But this was done without using the word geography, without using any equipment whatsoever. Using an existing institution designed for something else, taking it over and using it for a totally different purpose. So that in the end, the children write a letter. They know writing a letter is not just scribbling something on a piece of paper. It involves a whole business of envelopes. It involves a business of stamps and philately. That is all these stamps issued by different countries all over the world. And then you get history. Because many of the stamps will be historical stamps. Because they'll be after some important president or something, or some important religious figure or whatever it is. You know how philately is. And then you have the whole industry of stamp collectors, which becomes again for children who can't think of why somebody would collect stamps and put them in a box like that, and what he will do with it. And then that, that this thing, if kept 30 to 40 years later, may get him a huge amount of money because he'll have stamps which nobody else has got. But just began with a simple activity. This child can do writing a letter to its uncle in the United States. And how do you go about it? And the whole package is created of a totally different environment. Now, geography, all your things are included inside. Every aspect of geography, history, everything is included inside. But it's included in a way that the child can absorb, make sense to the child. That's how. Yes. Let's say, I'm only trying to provoke people. Some people, finally speaking, makes me very happy.
Finally, after getting about the geography of so many countries, everything about the tickets, everything about the postage, everything about it, finally the English teacher might have guided the student all those 40 students how to write it. After that, that's where teaching comes.
You're sure?
Yes, definitely.
You're sure teachers know how to write letters? That's a big assumption. That's a big assumption that you say. Teachers know how to write letters.
In 9 years of my teaching, students have taught me a lot. My students have taught me a lot, and I will proudly tell them that I teach a lot from you. 9 years of my teaching, as an English teacher, every day I learn something new, and I proudly tell it to my students that I keep on learning besides teaching. And I never feel hesitant about it. So, but some guidelines should be given by the teachers. Definitely, it should be a discussion session or any such activity which you have narrated right now. Maybe just keep on thinking about some activities which will help them learn in more interesting ways, yet learning is there.
What you are saying is acceptable, and I am very happy that at least you have that approach to your kids. You are teaching them the language. What I'm basically trying to say, by being provocative, is it's not just activities that children do. It's activities that the teacher plans, which will stimulate the imagination of the child. But what happens? The present education system just knocks off imagination. It reduces the whole world to rote. It reduces the whole thing. Let's be blunt about it. All of us went to school, we did successfully. It was because we were able to mug.
Yes.
That's just simple.
Teaching children about different places, but then again, set the directions. It is not like children telling what they want to learn and how they want to learn. So, like, we are not adopting that stream now. We are choosing the direction for the students. Yes, teaching strategy is something which is very interesting, and that caters to the requirement of the children, or gives a creative outlook.
No, I think we should understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that conventionally we believe that all the learning has to take place in four walls.
Yes.
The learning environment is outside.
Definitely. So, yes, that we need actually defined as subjects. right?
Yes.
Because we are all interrelated.
That's one aspect.
Yes, that's one aspect. But the basic guidelines with which to operate is direction in them.
I'm saying,
Levels of education.
I am saying that again these are heavy value objectives. Because what a child can or cannot absorb, you have no rights to put limits on that. Because children we know are diverse. Some children, again we think that all children are uniform. They are not. Some children are very fast for certain things. Some are very slow. Some have got different interests. So it's a totally diverse group of individuals, and it's very difficult to begin a priori, that is in advance, to begin with a certain set of assumptions about the child. That we must. I'm just asking you. I'm not saying accept my position. I'm only saying that after years of being put as people with authority who know everything, and who know everything because, not that we know everything, because we have been given this wisdom in the form of a textbook. And if we follow this textbook, we know that we are not going to be doing any wrong, because it's a textbook approved by the board, approved by the Beaconhouse Academic Council, etc. We can't do anything, nobody can blame us, no parent can blame us, nobody can. And we are then able to confidently give it to the child and say, this is your piece of cake for today, have it, and you will be the better for it. I'm saying that, can you put that attitude aside for a week? Can you?
Yes.
That's the issue.
We do what someone asked. As she said, we are trying to certification and the time constraint, the pressure from the parents and the coming slow to the non-constraint, basically, which is the concept. Till 1 month before liking it is different.
See, that's very practical approach.
Till 1 month before the exam.
Very practical approach.
Before the exam, again, before the exam, you have to let the syllabus and then to leave some time for revision and then the parents.
And then
in the end, in the pressure, number of A's, A stars,
all the creative teachers in Beaconhouse sit together and have a memorandum of agreement with the Beaconhouse manager. How memorandum?
I think the manager probably will agree with ethically to have an agreement with the parents.
How the parents?
That's more
No problem. No parent today in Pakistan at least is going to say that what Beaconhouse is doing in education is wrong. Maybe. I think it's but there's a school in India which has interviews with parents. I don't know what the interviews are. They ask the parents directly, see, you're coming to the school. Are you going to be upset if we don't give them any homework?